Hi guys, welcome to Live with Vi, and if you like what you see, subscribe. Hey guys, so this will almost become like a COVID series week. After talking to Ravi, I thought it was important to talk about COVID immunity because he very clearly mentioned that his wife and his kids did the immunity and COVID protection, which he didn't do. And a lot of messages saying what was the COVID remedies or immunity, or how did they build it. I got a lot of questions regarding that. And hello, the best person to answer about immunity building, COVID, the do's and don'ts, and allopathy and natural is my very, very close friend, Dr. Raashi Khatri, Punjabi.
Thank you for having me here, Vaibhavi. I'm so excited. Guys, can you all hear us? Send us some hearts or something to let
Sound
us know that you all can hear. Yeah, I think I
Hello?
can hear you well. I can hear you clear and loud, Vaibhavi. Even I can hear you loud and clear. So I guess we're good Okay, to go. super. So I was just telling them about what you do, and I see you've got dressed up to see meet me. Always get dressed to see you. I'm so happy to see you, and it's always lovely to see the work that you're doing, Vaibhavi. With all your lives, you're spreading so much awareness and so much joy of spirituality. You can hear me, sweetheart? No, there's a. Can you guys hear her? I can't. There's a time lag. I can.
Hello?
You want to go in and out once because I can hear you clearly, like 100% clearly. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, now I can hear you.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah. So
So
I
I
just
was
was
just
saying
telling
that
them, okay, you go ahead.
I was saying I really love the work that you're doing
Thank
with
you.
all the lives. You're spreading not only joy of spirituality for everybody during these trying times, but even looking at your posts and all the fun that you're having working out and all the yummy food that you're
I
making.
am making very yummy
Uh,
food.
Even on the induction burner, I'm very proud of you, and I'm glad I'm getting to have a chat with you and everybody who is following you today. So that's an
The
exciting time.
reason why I was waiting to have you on, especially during this week, is you were there talking to Shivana every minute when Ravi was going through his COVID, right?
Right.
She called you up and you told her exactly what to do, how to like what is the next thing she should do. And I just thought, because I got so many questions after Ravi's interview, because he very clearly said that his wife did immunity building stuff. He ignored it. He didn't do it in spite of Shivana being with him while he was positive or COVID detected for a whole week. She didn't get it. And I thought it's very important to talk about COVID immunity. You've been talking about your immunity carda since forever. Okay. Even though you are a allopathic doctor, you still do believe in the natural way. So I thought, why not we combine both? And so that it
Absolutely.
because I think it's right now it can go anyway, right? Because if you are hospitalized, god forbid, you are going to use allopathy medicines, but how do you
Right.
prevent or protect yourself from that? And I think how homeopathy and naturopathy has been, and even ayurveda has a lot of hidden gems that we can start using. And I know you do that. You
Right.
post your kada, you've talked about it. There was a live about your kada, it went viral. So, and also what we can do in the allopathy way. So I thought it was a great way to, you were the best person for the job.
So, first of all, hi everybody. I'm going to say hi to Divish. He is one of my followers who comes literally on every live. So, hi to you. But before we go ahead,
Rashi, tell us about what you are, what kind of doctor you are. I was just going to introduce you and you came on. So why don't you do that?
happily, are we at 7 o'clock sharp? Oh, great. So, we are
We are
perfect
perfect.
time to start. Guys, I'm a pain management and headache specialist. I practice out of Hinduja Hospital and Mind Temple, Juhu. I have been practicing I was working and I studied in the US for a really long time. This is all colored hair. I'm way older than you all think I am. But I've been practicing in India for the last about 16 years now. And I very strongly believe that for me, allopathy gives me great tools to diagnose a person
but our country is a treasure trove of information from Ayurveda, from naturopathy, from our kitchens, from herbs, from even homeopathy, which is so popular in India, from Bach and allopathy. And all of this together can really work miracles at improving and reversing any of your health problems, including building your immunity.
Correct.
With COVID, now, unfortunately, COVID has become extremely rampant, and whether we like it or not, we are going to keep hearing of people in our vicinity, our direct neighbors, our friends, our families, our parents. We are going to hear more and more of cases. Now, there is no 6 degrees of separation, it is 1 degree of separation, and it may even come knocking at your own door. But there are
Correct.
definitely things that we can all do to build our immunity so that even if it were to come knocking at our door, our body is so strong that we don't go through a bad attack, and we can deal with it or it can pass through us in far easier ways with our body being more prepared for it. So I'm really glad, Weber, we took this initiative. We're going to give you lots of information for all of these things, and I'm happy to go and share of all of that with you all.
Okay.
So,
So I think let's start with the basic thing. Okay. Immunity, and why is it different for different people? And how do we improve, or how do we up our immunity right now? I think that's the main question, because a lot of people ask me after Ravi's thing as to what was the difference between what you and Shivana did, you know?
right. So, guys, I want to explain to you. So, all of us, whoever is sitting and watching this, and even if whoever sees this at a later time, you who are sitting in front of us, you have a body. You're not the body. You have a body which is pretty much your physical structure is a multicellular body, correct?
Correct.
Physically. But your immunity is your body's defense to fight whatever microorganism can attack your multicellular being. So
Right.
basically, immunity is your body's protection, immunity is your body's army, immunity is your body's way of fighting off anything that can enter your body and make it feel uncomfortable. And we will decide and we will discuss also about what are the things that can affect you. But immunity is different in every single person purely because we don't, all of us are not born with the same level of immunity. So there are,
Correct. Okay.
even within immunity, there are types of immunity which I'm going to briefly touch upon. Guys, I'm oversimplifying this, making it easy so that everyone can understand, right?
Yeah, I was just going to say,
So,
don't use any medical terms, Rash.
no
I will,
medical. This is
yes.
absolute no medical term. This is scientific stuff, uncomplicated 101. Okay,
Okay.
so for all of us, now imagine if I take three people and I put them in the room and I give everybody the chickenpox virus. One
Correct.
person may get better in 6 days, one person may get better in 10 days, and one person may get better in 12 days. Now, the
Okay.
person who gets better in 10 days will say, Arey, what is so great about this? Out of 100 people, 90 people got better in 10 days. So we'll say, iska average immunity hai. One person will get better in 5 days. We'll say, what superb immunity, yeah? His body quickly fought off even this attack. And the
Correct.
person who takes 12 days will have slightly lowered immunity compared to the others. It
Right.
doesn't mean that that person doesn't get better. It means that that person takes
Longer
slightly longer than
to
the
get better.
average person. Now, this immunity we are born with, and it is called innate immunity. This is an immunity which was decided by your forefathers. Your grandfather, your grandmother united, they gave birth to your mother. Your mother and your father united, they gave birth to you. You have an innate immunity which has been passed on, correct? That is
Correct.
the immunity that decides how fast your body can naturally ward off any kind of microorganism that's coming towards it. But we also have passive immunity. So when we were babies and our mothers were feeding us, or
Right.
when we were in our mother's womb, suppose my mother, when I was in her womb, got influenza, then my body automatically gets
Gets the
all the
anti.
antibodies
Correct.
that my
So if,
mother passed on to me.
so just to cut you, so if a pregnant woman right now gets COVID, her womb,
She has passed on the
the
antibodies to her
antibodies.
child.
Okay. Okay.
Congratulations, your child is already vaccinated because of your being able to pass. So I'll give you a small example. I had swine flu while I was breastfeeding my child, and my
Right.
child did not suffer swine flu, but has already built the antibodies for swine flu, right? So this is passive immunity. आपने कुछ नहीं किया, but internally your body has got it because of your mother's efforts, correct? And the third thing is active immunity. This is the immunity we build because we have faced it. So for example, if I get chicken pox, I cannot get chicken pox again because my body already builds the antibodies towards it. So antibodies.
Now, if someone gets COVID right now, they are not susceptible to a relapse.
So I'll talk to you all a little bit about it in a second. So your body has got antibodies based on the disease that you have got. So even if you get an influenza virus, your body has built a immunity against it. So these are the types of immunity. There is active, innate, and passive. Now, whether you like it or not, your body works because of the combination of these. Now, Pooja, this is exactly the question that Vaibhavi was asking. Now, normally, when we have seen, say, chickenpox virus, or when we have seen smallpox virus, any virus, our body, whenever the virus gets detected, or whenever that virus is the first time found in the world, it takes a year for us to figure what is the virus's nature, right? Right now, there are millions of people across the globe who have got COVID, but they will not show a relapse of that same strain of the virus because the virus is so new. We don't know in a year's time, but this is all the doctors, all the researchers being very safe. Chances are, even when swine flu came out, even when Ebola came out, people would say that, we don't know whether you can get it again, because scientifically they have to wait for a year to see whether it has come back. But for example, the first people to get COVID in Bombay also, many of them have already built the antibodies, right? Which is what the antibodies test is doing. It is testing you to see if you have built. But right now, for guarantee, for surety, because the world has not experienced COVID long enough, they're not able to tell you stamp paper पे लगा के कि अच्छा आपको वापस नहीं होने वाला है. But chances are in November, when they have done enough research and 1 year has passed since this virus was detected in the world, they may turn around and say that, boss, now we have done the research. We know everybody who got COVID is not going to get it. Exactly how we know now that chickenpox cannot come back again.
Correct.
But when chickenpox was first detected, they didn't know whether it can come back again or not. Most viruses, if you have gone through a particular strain, do not get repeated in your body because your body builds the defense against it. But if viruses have a mutation which is very, very fatafat, like for example, our influenza viruses, which is the common flu virus, what we call. By the way, guys, lots and lots of people all around the world also experience very high level of mortality from the flu virus. But the flu virus, that it mutates. So every year, if you were living abroad, if you were living in US or UK, you would have to go and get a flu vaccine. But in India, we know that once a year, so I'm going to get this bukhar, sardi. We know that it's not going to do anything major to you, but your body will fight it. And even if a small baby gets, we don't go and keep injecting our kids every single year with a flu virus vaccine, correct? So since I am at this juncture, I would actually like to tell everyone who's listening the difference between a virus and a bacteria, because that I feel is key to understanding how your body is able to fight it.
Right.
Now, for all of us, Vaibhavi, at some point in our life, we have got a bacterial infection, correct? People may have got a urinary tract infection, or you may have got a stomach infection. You may have got a pimple even, which is growing on your hand. An abscess, a pimple, whatever. A bacteria is also a microorganism. Now, we can't see viruses, we can't see bacteria unless under a microscope. So, a bacteria is also a type of microorganism which, when it enters your body, starts multiplying very, very quickly and starts eating away to produce pus. So, I'll give you the example of a small thing, a pimple. If there is any infection, imagine you're only scratching your skin, that little khadda, that little ulcer, that micro abrasion on your skin becomes into a pocket to invite viruses, invite bacteria, which goes inside and starts multiplying. And to reduce the effect of, so bacteria, once they start growing in your body, they are going to keep on multiplying till you decide to sort of calm that
And
area down.
correct.
So sometimes, so allopathically, yes, everybody is very forceful, though I'm not a big believer of thusoing antibiotics,
Antibiotics.
but people take in antibiotics when the level of bacteria has gone too high to
Correct.
reduce the pus forming abilities or reduce the number of bacteria in that area. Now, contrary to this, viruses are like hotelers, are like people who have come for a visit. They look at your body. You're the host. You say Atiti Devo Bhava. The virus enters your body. The virus enjoys a full nice holiday in your body, does whatever it has to do in your body, and then it leaves your
Leaves.
body. Whether you do anything or not, the virus leaves your body, right? So, which is why when we have a common influenza virus, we tell people that there is no medicine for it. Yes, there are lots of people who abuse antibiotics or take a lot of medicines for secondary infections, but
Right.
the virus by itself has to be peed out of your body. It has to be shed naturally. So, what we always say chicken soup for the soul. So
Correct.
if somebody falls sick, even if it's a child who has a viral, we don't ply them with medication. We look after them symptomatically, but we tell them lots of fluids.
Lots
Please
of
rest
liquids.
because your body will recuperate on its own. Please eat foods which give warmth to the body. So all viruses, whether it is chickenpox virus, whether it is even an influenza virus, will live out its life cycle in your body and then get out. Now,
Okay.
why coronavirus is also a virus? It's not a
Right.
bacteria. So, guys,
Right.
whoever is suffering from coronavirus, do not thuso yourselves with antibiotics. If you are given antibiotics, it may be because you have a secondary infection that needs to be looked after. But antibiotics have no role in negating the effects of the coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
Your coronavirus, once it enters your body, is going to live in your body. And if you are a person who doesn't have high comorbidities or doesn't have, so this is the stuff that we are still finding out about the virus. It's extremely unique, but from
Okay.
what we have seen so far in the last, say, 6 months of it being on planet Earth, is that a healthy young individual has the capability of course, getting affected by it, but also
To
having a
fight it
variation where
strong.
it gets fighted and it gets out of your body. Where it is problematic is that it has so many different symptoms. Some people have stomach symptoms, some people have just swelling of feet, some people may tell you, I have a headache and nothing else. Some people may have fever. So there are so many variations of the
Hmm.
symptoms, and the spreadability is so fast. We are still figuring out about the coronavirus, but guys, the mortality rates are a particular way based on the comorbidities. Means if a person is very old, very sick,
Correct.
but we are also, guys, I want to share a good news with you, Vaibhavi. I know somebody who's 96 years old, a
And
nice,
has
sweet Gujarati lady who has fought it at 96. Like she's like, "Kyunki saas bhi kabhi bahu thi ki ba," and she had no symptoms except that she hallucinated for one night.
okay.
So the variation is so high that with coronavirus, we are being very, very cautious because we don't want people to be sicker than they are.
Right.
And which is why, and there's a lovely post I saw today. Now imagine if we are all sitting in a play school. Okay, we are all with our kids in a mommy play school.
Right.
Coronavirus is like glitter. If one
So
person opens one dabba, it is going
becomes
to be
everyone.
everywhere. So the spreadability of coronavirus is like glitter, which
But
is why
Rashi, you were saying about that you said that okay, everyone is going to get at different degrees, right? But
I'm not saying
who
everyone will get it, but
no,
I'm
but I'm
saying
just
that
saying
chances
people
are we
getting in
may
a
see.
room,
Yeah.
yeah, in a room or say glitter, everyone is going to get glitter on us, but maybe in different levels, right? Someone might get a whole head of glitter,
Yes.
someone might just get a speck. But what I want to know is how is it how is it affecting each person? Does it depend on the person's blood type? Does it depend on the person's say they're saying high diabetes, someone asked me about autoimmune disease. So what are the
So
different ways
So
or the
guys,
reason why it affects certain people more than others?
so there are lots and lots of studies being done to still figure that out, that
Okay,
what are the variabilities, okay?
correct.
Because there are lots of it, and there has been talk of, acha, people with a certain blood group get it more
Yeah,
than the
because
others.
Ravi said that I have A positive, so the doctor said he's more susceptible to the virus. So is
So, so these are still speculation because it's very,
okay,
very
new,
new as a virus. But
right?
what we have seen for surety is that people who have comorbidities, means people who are above the age of 60, people,
Correct,
but not every 60-year-old. Okay, this is,
right.
so there are going to be, and I'm not saying there'll be those few sections. So there is literally a test, and I'm happy to share it with you, to put it up as a post.
Please do.
It's I will share it with you guys. She'll put it up as a post so that you can see where you stand on a scale. So it's a point grade. So if you have diabetes, you get 1 point. If you
Correct.
have, at the same time, if your obesity and your BMI is more than 30, okay, you have to add 1 more point. If you're a male, they've seen that males are more susceptible than females. So there is, and when you count it, when you collect all those points based on where you stand, you'll
Right.
suddenly be told that, acha, you're pretty high on the scale. So you make sure that you don't get out of the house, or
Correct.
you're high on the scale, but you can get out with a mask. So our country, BMC guys, I want to give them Shashtang Namaskar.
Absolutely.
They have
Absolutely.
been brilliant because I work very closely. I work at Hinduja Hospital, guys, and I
Correct.
see the brilliant work that even the hospitals are amazing, but even the brilliant work that's being done at BMC level, and what they're doing is something to support a lot of people who are coming. So in Bombay, our biggest barrier or is large population of people in slums, mobility. It's an economic hub. So being,
Yeah.
even if you want to give the essentials, to provide essentials of milk, food to
You still have to
so
go.
many millions of people, there are so many people who will get affected in the bargain. But our government is doing like the most stellar job.
I
But
can't.
I wanted to, sorry, Vaibhavi, what
No,
were
go
you
ahead.
saying?
I'm
Even
just
you
saying,
can't.
I can't imagine. That's what I'm saying. When Ravi was also talking about it, and I've heard from Rahul, Ravi, every single person, that
Yeah.
BMC and the police have been fantastic. They have been amazing to
And
handle this kind of volume, to handle this kind of population, to kind of, get ahead with it. It's been amazing.
so, guys, I want to put out one more thing over here. Uh, and guys, this is my opinion. This is not a hospital's opinion, although I work with them. uh, the thing is that I also really appreciate the fact that BMC is making sure that there are caps on the amounts that these hospitals are charging. All of the hospitals are charging,
Yes.
and all private hospitals have had to open out all their beds for every strata of society. I'm seeing the phenomenal work that's being done at Hinduja Hospital, where doctors, nurses, people are working day and night to serve the lowest strata also of society,
Right.
to make sure that it is contained and we keep reducing the number of people who are suffering. But one thing that I really wanted to discuss and spend a lot of time on today was how people can change their immunity,
Right.
what you can do to work on your immunity. Because that is, guys, the information that y'all all listen, please share it with your friends and family, because you don't know whose life this information could make a difference to. So, even before I go into what helps or builds immunity, I want to explain to you all, as an allopath, what your body is. Okay, because most of us, it's so sad, but, and it's also good, but it's so sad that there are so many specialists in allopathy. Medical science has advanced so much. We have a heart specialist, we have a bladder specialist, we have a finger specialist, we have, for me, I'm a jaw specialist, there is a headache specialist. That a patient or a person thinks that the entire body is
It's
floating
separate.
organs. We keep thinking that, acha, my heart has nothing to do with my stomach's function, or my stomach
Correct.
has nothing to do with my head's function. But something that I like to tell everybody, I keep reminding all my patients, that you are not a bag of floating, disarrayed organs. You are
You're
one
one.
human being. Your physical body is one, but your physical body doesn't define who you are. So when you think of improving your immunity, you cannot improve your immunity by only working on your physical body. So most importantly that I want to share with everybody is, you, my darling, have a physical body, but and this is an allopath who has done her medicine, practiced with hundreds and thousands of patients. This is me telling you this, that you have a physical body, but along with your physical body, you also have an emotional body. Now, your emotional body is your feelings, what you think,
Yeah.
what you feel. Along with your emotional body, which are your feelings, happy, sad, whatever, you also have a mental body, which is your buddhi, your intellect, your logic. I'll give you an example that differentiates between a mental body and an emotional body. You may be traveling from, say, Juhu to Bandra.
Right.
Mentally, you know that, acha, it will take me 6 minutes. I have to sit in the car, I have to drive, I have to reach this. Emotionally, you may think, arey, kitna traffic hai, or you may think, wow, the roads are so empty. So the emotions, the feelings that you have is your emotional body.
Correct.
What you think logically is your mental body. There are lots and lots of people who are extremely emotionally balanced, but may be very poor on their mental scale. May they have no logic of what is happening, or they may not have retention power. Buddhi may be low. But there are lots of people who may have very high intellectual abilities, which we know these kind of people, but who don't know how to emote themselves. They can't say if they're sad, they're happy. So guys, remember, you have a physical body, you have an emotional body, you
And
have a
mental.
mental, your brain, intellectual capacity, and there is your consciousness, what makes you alive, what is making you sit over here. Correct? So all four of these together combine to make you. So when we are looking at immunity, you have to work on the immunity of your spiritual body, your mental body, your emotional body,
And
and your
physical.
physical body. And in your physical body, I'm going to divide it further and talk to you all about allopathy immunity, homeopathy immunity, herbs immunity, and the kitchen immunity, your naturopathy immunity, which
Correct.
also includes a little bit of Ayurveda. I don't want us to miss talking about that. So I want to spend a lot of time on this aspect of it. The first thing that I am going to start with is, what would you like me to start with, V?
I think let's talk about what, see, if you see right now, a lot of people are doing, having your vitamin C's, having your ghar ka kadas. Then there's this whole conversation about the camphor, the arsenic, all of that. Can we start with the home stuff
Let's do
first?
that.
Okay, so
Let's
it's
start with
easy
that.
then. Okay, great.
Absolutely. So, guys, take a paper and pen, because I'm going to give you lots and lots of information for all of y'all, things that y'all can do easily at home. We are not going to be sending you all to a chemist to buy stuff. We are going to make it easy and accessible. Okay. Number one, let's talk about allopathy, which is going to increase your immunity.
Yes,
Now,
let's
there
do it
are,
that way.
yes, so let's do allopathy, homeopathy,
Right.
Ayurveda, herbs. Let's do all of it.
All of it
Okay,
together.
so
Correct.
yes, so this is not only going to look after the immunity against COVID, it is great for
Gen
all types of immunity.
Right.
Somebody had earlier asked, I'm sorry, I forgot your name, asked if somebody has an autoimmune condition, does it make them more susceptible to falling ill with COVID? Guys, people who have autoimmune conditions, in a snippet I'm going to explain, are people whose immunity attacks themselves. So imagine if your body is a country, your body is India. Imagine if Pakistan is doing something at the border. So your body recruits new soldiers, but your new soldiers, when they reach the border, your old and experienced soldiers think that the new soldiers are the enemy and start attacking them. So in
Right.
autoimmune conditions, your body attacks its own reparative tissue, attacks its own body. Those are autoimmune conditions, very simply explained. Autoimmune conditions doesn't make you more susceptible to
COVID.
having COVID.
Okay.
In fact, the tips that I'm going to give all of y'all, the people who are or have autoimmune conditions, you must start them now. Don't wait for tomorrow also, because you have more reason to work and build upon your own immunity. So guys, with your paper and pens ready, you can start writing all of this down. There's been so much talk, and I see people going berserk ordering vitamin C, hoarding
Yes.
vitamin C, hoarding vitamins. I want to tell you all which are the 3 or 4 vitamins which are extremely important for immunity building. And I'll also talk about the 2, 3 vitamins which are extremely important for general health, because your body needs to work together with general health.
Right.
You can build on your immunity only if you have
A healthy
good health.
body. Yeah,
Correct?
absolutely.
Exactly. So, guys, number one, I am an allopath, but the source of the best vitamins always comes from your kitchens. So,
Right.
always look at eating fresh food, which is rich in, if you can get, most of the bhajiwalas that we go to in India are going to have organic. They're not going and buying it from some GMO farms. So, guys, support your local farmers, but please, please buy what is local, fresh fruit,
Seasonal.
vegetables, and try to get seasonal,
Yes.
sasta, because whatever is seasonal is always sasta. Instead of
Correct.
avocado, look for your normal bhajis and start getting those into your system. Make sure that you're getting good supply of nutrition from fresh food, which you're making at home, because then you can see what's going into it as well.
Right.
Besides those, there are some vitamins which are going to help you definitely build your immunity. One of which is a very, very important vitamin, which is magnesium. It is a mineral.
Okay.
We don't talk enough about it. Magnesium is a mineral which is found very often in kaju, in nutmeg, in bananas. Uh, However, our consumption of those foods may be limited. So, what I would recommend is that please get all kinds of vitamins or minerals are not going to be absorbed by everyone equally, because
Right.
your absorption, Vaibhavi, of
Where
vitamins
will
may
it?
be very different than mine. There may
Correct.
be somebody who keeps taking vitamin B12 and every 6 months they need to replenish. So,
Right.
guys, your absorption levels, and if anybody wants me to evaluate their absorption level, you all can DM me and I will help you figure it out. But you need to make sure that you get a magnesium, but which is of magnesium glycinate, because your body is not going to absorb a magnesium citrate or an acetate oxate or any of those, as well as your body will get a magnesium absorption from magnesium glycinate. Now,
So what does
magnesium
magnesium
glycinate,
do for you? The
so I'll
magnesium
tell you
glycinate.
about that.
Okay.
So each of our cells, so we are a person, a micro body in the macro, right? We are a
Right.
small speck of the universe.
Right.
Similar to that, our body is made up of cells, which is the small part of our body, right? So
Right.
we are a micro of the macro, and our cell is also a micro of our macro. So if
Correct.
you want to improve your body's immunity, you have to first go and feed
Feed the
the
cells.
the engine that runs every cell. Now, in our body, every cell has a mitochondria. That mitochondria is the engine of the cell. That cannot run without magnesium. It cannot produce energy only. अगर आपकी
Okay.
body में energy नहीं है, what will you fight
How
a
will you fight it?
virus?
Correct.
Your body is not even going to have energy to work normally. You're going to feel lethargic, tired, fatigued all the time. So, magnesium glycinate, either a 400 milligram or a 550 milligram, any brand is good. Guys, I get mine off Amazon. I literally look for the most sasta one and I buy it. Okay. And there are some great brands on sale. Magnesium glycinate to be taken at bedtime, because
Okay.
what it does is that it goes into your muscles and it starts also powerhousing your muscles and activating them. It also makes you poop better the next morning because it works on your bowel muscles. And a person who's pooping better, peeing better, is going to throw out any
The
garbage
toxicity from
very
the body.
fast.
Correct.
Toxins. Absolutely right. So magnesium glycinate you also get from kaju. So in olden days they used to suggest कि please रात को काजू खा के सोना and all of that. जायफल डाल के दूध पीना.
Jaifal doodh. Yes.
So this is all magnesium. People don't, guys, I'm not promoting milk right now. I'm just telling you all, please have magnesium in the night. Find the food sources. If not, find take a supplement. The second thing that I want everyone to definitely concentrate while building their immunity is zinc. This is
Okay.
also a mineral which is brilliant at fighting viruses. Okay. And this is something that should be taken in the first half of the day. Guys, when y'all are having zinc, and zinc doesn't matter, find any magnesium glycinate, don't give it as a tablet to children, give it in the form of food, Aarti, to children. So make sure that give them kaju or nutmeg in their food, hide it and give it. Google better sources of magnesium which your children like and then include it. Zinc is a brilliant vitamin for immunity building. And if you take a sample of all the people that have suffered of COVID in across the world, they have
Right.
found that zinc, when given as a supplement, just helps your body very quickly throughout toxins, which is
Okay.
why even for people who want to clear out their skin, they give them a Zevit or they give them a Zincovit, because it also throws out any shedding gets faster. So
So,
guys,
Rashi, you said have zinc in the morning and magnesium at night. Why
at
should we have
night,
zinc? Why should we have zinc in the morning?
because
I mean, the first half.
zinc usually comes in combination with vitamin B12. Okay,
Okay.
it's
Okay. So
most
then
of
you.
the common zinc. So you'll get a Bico zinc or a Zincovit or a Zevit, and B12 is so I was going to talk about B12 as well. So
Right.
B12 is a great vitamin. Anita ji, please take it always after eating something. So if you take zinc on an empty stomach, or you take it after a very small nashta, your body doesn't know how to break the tablet only.
Got it.
Okay. So always take it after lunch or in between lunch. So एक रोटी खाया, फटाफट से Zincovit लिया, and continue with the rest of your meal so that your body can absorb it better. Also, unfortunately, there are some brands of zinc that may be giving you acidity, because for me, and this is not me dissing any particular brand, but ZMA gives me acidity, but other brands of zinc may not give you. You can also find foods that give you zinc. So shellfish, your nuts, lots and lots of them have zinc as well. Guys, my first option is always going to be khana khao to get your
Yeah.
vitamins. If not, then substitutes are
You
these.
build your immunity in the kitchen and not with
In the
bottles.
kitchen, in the kitchen,
Absolutely.
and not the bottle. The bottle
Absolutely.
is for when you are not being able to get a adequate
Correct.
amount of it. So zinc is brilliant, and zinc usually is found in combinations with your B12s. Now B12 is Brazil nuts, any nuts, pista, any nuts are good, Ritu. So basically, when you're having zinc, it is also great at that same time to get in your B complex or your B12. Now your
Okay.
B12, guys, always turn your tablet around, your brand name around, and look, your B12 should always be in the form of methicobal, which is the only kind of absorbable B12. Now, B12 is the vitamin which is found very often in animal protein. Unfortunately, it is not found so much in
In
your
vegetarian.
vegetarian foods, but mushrooms are a great source of B12 because they're covered in dirt, which is pretty much
Correct.
also living B12. But B12, when you are taking it as methicobal, try to take it at up to 1500 mcg per day. 1000 to 1500 is great. Do not take your B12 at night. It's going to make you feel energized like a bunny. Try to take it in the daytime.
First half.
And B12 is great for energy, because what B12 does is that it goes and heals your muscles. It's great also for Anita ji, I'll message you because I don't want to give out names of brands right now. Guys, it's not right for me to be partial to one brand on live, but I will.
Correct.
Any methicobal is great. You also get B12 as sprays in your mouth on Amazon, which are fantastic because they get absorbed into your body much, much faster. Um, Now, for B12, if you don't have adequate B12 in your body, you're going to start experiencing some amount of numbness or pins and needles in your hands as well. And you will start experiencing some amount of hair loss.
Hair
Now,
fall.
guys,
That's the first
B12
sign,
is
no?
required. Yeah, B12 is required in your body for your lungs, for your heart, for your repair, for emotional stability, for your beauty, right? Just for your body to repair and keep itself maintained. When your body, instead of getting 1000 mcg per day, gets 60 mcg, the big bosses, the heart and the brain and the lung will say, "Jitna bhi aa raha hai, main rakhne
मुझे
wala
दे
hu."
दो.
So
Correct.
this entire langar of hair, which is sitting hungry over there, all these Baratis, they literally told, "Boss, we don't have food for y'all, so y'all get out, y'all are accessories." So you will start getting tons and tons of hair loss if your B12 is not sufficient. So guys, in terms of immunity building, we have spoken about so far magnesium glycinate. We have talked about B12
We've
deficiency.
talked about
We have
zinc and
spoken out
B12
zinc.
and methicobal.
Now, methicobal is B12. Now, one
Correct.
thing I want you all to add over here is definitely we need D3. Guys, D3 has been seen in research. So I have access to a lot of scientific research, which unfortunately are not public yet. They will be. D3 is something that we all desperately require
Need, yeah.
for our body to be in its highest immune structural state. Now, when I say D3, a lot of people think that D3 will work only if I pop in pills. There are two things I want to say to this. You don't need to be getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning and getting morning sunlight. Even if you have a window at home and you can just pop your face out, a balcony, have a picnic, get some sunlight. Our sun is our greatest source of energy, physically, emotionally. There is people who don't get adequate sun, especially in the US, go into a state of sun dependency, depression.
Yes.
And then they need to buy red lamps to just feel good. Guys, we are in a country where we get a lot of sunlight, okay? Which is why in the rains we feel gloomy. Whatever patch of sunlight you get, whenever you get it, sit down in the sun because your body requires
Raashi,
D3.
so there's not particular
Yes.
time because they say between 10 to 2 you should walk. So
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Because what happens is that if you get limited in your brain and think कि मेरे को ये time पे चाहिए, then you're going to miss it and then you will never get it. So guys, get it any time, but make sure that you get it. What I would like us also to remember is that D3 is a fat soluble vitamin. Till we don't have some amount of fat in our diet in the form of good ghee, I'm not telling you sit and drink tel, but if you can get nuts into your body which have oil in it, if you can get food till in your body which has oil in it, absorption of D3 becomes faster.
Easier.
So these pregnant women are given till, are given in Makar Sankranti, they distribute till, because without that till, when you're going from winter to summer, how will your body absorb? Without that fat, your body is not going to take in the sunlight. So guys, D3, B12, zinc, magnesium, right? We have spoken about these so far.
You spoke on Makar Sankranti. I read, amazed. My grandmom used to tell me why we have Makar Sankranti. If you have Tilna Ladu and you go up and fly a kite for 6 or 7 hours, your D3 is, your body collects enough D3 for the next 3 to 4 months, which is such a great concept, right? I mean, that's the reason why these festivals were done.
Our lives need to be more towards what our grandparents spoke to us, because it will really make a difference. Guys, I want to add more stuff over here because I know we are running on timings.
It will kick us out at 7:50, so we have 10 minutes.
Okay, superb. So I'm going to keep talking quickly.
Yes, I am recording this session. I will. It will be saved under the COVID series on IGTV.
Superb. And I'm going to add one more thing over here. Vitamin C. So guys, vitamin C has been abused and used during this, the virus, the COVID. You do not need the kind of the quantity of vitamin C that people are going mad having. You don't need 1000 mcg of vitamin C. Guys, you all need far smaller quantities. Your body will pee it out, right?
Right.
So you don't need, our fruits and vegetables, mangoes, oranges are full of it. Please don't go berserk. Get your vitamin C from the regular sources, and I will talk to you all. So this is the allopathic aspect of it. I'm going to start talking about the natural aspects of it, and you'll realize how much more natural vitamin C is there in our herbs, fruits, vegetables, which can also help us. So now that we have spoken about the allopathic aspect of it, I'm going to just add one small thing which is common to allopathy and Ayurveda. Please make sure now, whenever we breathe in the droplets which have the viruses, these viruses tend to go and go in from our nasal passages, correct? In the form of droplets. It's one skin, adventurous vegan. Aditi, if your mom has had excess in both her blood tests, it means her body is not absorbing it. It doesn't mean that she has less. Chances are she's not taking it and utilizing it in her body. If my blood test is done and if my sugar is high in my body, it means my body is not using my sugar. It doesn't mean that I have excess of sugar. Correct? So instead of looking after, you have to look after absorption and not after stopping her vitamins. Guys, coming back. So in order to reduce the level of droplets which are carrying, of course, masking is the number one thing that we need to do. But also please guys, if you all can get steaming done regularly or jal neti done, it is like cleaning up the sinuses, exactly
Yes.
like how you would be brushing your teeth. When we brush our teeth, we remove all the bacteria and the kachra that is stuck over there. Similarly, steaming, putting an air purifier, doing jal neti. If you can't, jal neti always with salted water. Otherwise, your body is going to absorb that water and make you feel very sick. But you need to clear this area out. Now I'm going to go a little bit deviating into what is required in
Rashi, just a question.
naturopathy.
Steaming, how
Yes,
many times do you need to steam? Do you steam every
guys, do
time
it
you go
once a
out?
day.
Oh, once a day.
No, just
Okay.
do it once a day because you're just cleaning it out.
Correct.
But
Okay.
suppose you have realized you've done something dusty, then just come back and also steam again. There's no
Right.
harm in doing that at all. So
Correct.
there is something that I want everyone to write down. These are things that I'll happily put up my kada recipe because everybody loves my kada recipe and
Yes.
it's very, very good for antivirals. But there are few things that I am going to quickly mention which are high in vitamin C, which are in your kitchen, but which can also increase temperature in your body. Now, whenever we get viruses, whether it's influenza virus or any virus in our body tries to naturally suppress that virus, like
By
how we
increasing the
would
body
kill
temperature.
by increase the body temperature. If
Correct.
you have a patila of water which is very dirty or you want to give it to a small child, you'll boil it to kill the viruses.
Correct.
Similarly, you need to have foods that heat your body to naturally reduce the effect of the viruses also. Now, these include my favorite adrak, which
Yes.
is your
Ginger.
ginger. So ginger has a beautiful property of number one, it can go and heat up the sinuses and piglao any of the mucus. It also acts beautifully and brilliantly as a antiviral, a natural antiviral, and it's also great for the stomach and throws out any kachra toxin that you may be storing. Even garlic is amazing, guys. It has a very bad rep because it'll smell and all of that. Rubbish and bullshit. Please start having garlic also. I'll tell you all something that combines this. Our herbs, our plants. Tulsi is something which is our mata. She is
Yes.
our goddess. But more importantly, she has powers of clearing up upper respiratory tract pradushans or pollutions in our body. So Tulsi is great as well. Black pepper, uh,
Yeah.
kala mari, what
Mari.
we call, has effect of heating up the body and also phlegm dissolving properties. Star aniseed is great
Yes.
for breaking fevers and reducing the load of viral in the body. Haldi, beautifully said, Pooja, it is an anti-inflammatory. So anywhere in your body where there are chances of secondary infection, haldi will bring it down. Cinnamon is something which is beautiful. Dalchini. Cinnamon is anti-diabetic. It can go into your system and cause it can literally have an anti-inflammatory or an antiviral effect on your entire body. And
Correct.
if you want to have all of this together, then if you are making a kadha out of it, you must have it twice a day. But when you are having it, because it can be heaty for your stomach, we always add saunf in it and little bit of lavang in it or which is your what is
Cloves.
lavang called in English?
Cloves.
Cloves in it, because it actually reduces the effect of these heaty products on your
Right.
stomach. We don't want you to get loose motions and think you have COVID because you are having the kadha. So guys, even if you can get 1/4 of a glass of this, take 1 liter of water, put all of this inside. I'll write it down, reduce it so that the water becomes half, so it becomes like distilled. And then
Correct.
drink that, sip it through the day, mix honey in it so it's good for you. Also, kalonji, which is black nigella seeds, are excellent for immunity building. Guys, please make sure you'll add it into your food. And at the end of this is what's in your kitchen, which is great
Right.
for your immunity. But guys, this is for your physical health. Please remember that your immunity at physical level is rubbish if
If
your
you're,
mind,
yes.
if your emotions are not under check. So if you are going to be sitting online or on TV and looking at nonsense, rubbish, negative news the whole day, it is not going to, none of this will work. Do yourself a favor and don't have any of this. What you need to do is keep your mind active and happy. So please have fun. You're not going
Yeah.
to get an opportunity like this with your family. Run around, dance, make TikTok videos. Now you can't make TikTok videos. Whatever, have some fun. Watch Friends, get together with your family, play Ludo. Make sure that you're juicing life. You will not get this opportunity to enjoy yourself like this.
I
You also need
agree.
to, you have to look after. I'm sorry, I keep looking at the time because I don't want to miss out on
No,
some of the
but
points.
no, because I don't want it
So
to because if it ends abruptly, I won't be able to save the session. So I'm watching the time.
we'll
Don't worry. I will tell you exactly.
you'll start getting a countdown, Oscar style. That time you can cut it. Okay.
So it
So
doesn't give me a countdown. No,
okay, so you look at the watch and tell me. I'll
I will
add what
check
I
the
need
time.
to.
Yeah, we
Okay,
have
so
exactly 4 minutes.
okay, so guys, I'm going to throw in a lot of information in these 4 minutes as well. I told you all about what needs to be done for your physical body from
Right.
homeopathy point of view. Very quickly, I'm not a homeopath, but I have access to a couple of the best homeopaths in Bombay. And what they have told me is that if you are on any of your constitutional remedies, what is specific to what your body requires, that is great for immunity building. So if you have been working with a homeopath for many, many years, tell them to
Right.
continue with your constitutional remedies. Now, for your staff, or if you don't know how to help somebody who has got it, or what we have seen the BMC doing is that the BMC has been distributing arsenic album 30 or 60 twice a
Right.
day, 6 pills. The BMC has done it at, I mean, I've been shocked, but the slums have been given this uh, free of cost by the BMC. They're also using Cimex, again, free of cost
Okay.
from the BMC. They've also been giving out Camphora 1M for everyone. And guys, these are not exactly what everybody requires, but this is
Okay.
what has been distributed by the BMC. They don't have to be taken forever. There is a dosage to it. So for 3 days, you will take it twice a day and then you will stop and you can repeat it after 2 weeks' time as a prophylactic. But there hasn't been that much research done. I know Dr. Shankran and Dr. Divya Chabra have done a lot of research in in Iran for this, and they've seen some amount of results. But I
Correct.
definitely believe that your constitutional remedy cannot be substituting. I take homeopathy. My mom-in-law is a homeopath as well, and we very strongly believe that homeopathy has a place in building your immunity.
Right.
Um, Guys, I want to add over here. We've spoken about allopathy, homeopathy, or herbs. We've spoken about what you can do externally and physically. Please wash your hands because your hands tend to catch on to droplets. And now, coming to my favorite part, we've looked after mental, emotional, physical. Your consciousness, your spiritual aspect needs to be looked after as well. So, guys, find some meditative practice.
Yes.
Meditation doesn't have to be only in the form of sitting somewhere and chanting Om, or if you're a Buddhist and if that works for you, do that. If you're a dancer and if you feel that when I dance, I go into a state of meditation where I feel one with the universe, please
Do
do
that.
that. The
Absolutely.
entire earth is in a state of shift. We're all moving towards better things. Life is never going to be the same again. 100% we need to also work on ourselves and better ourselves at all aspects. So if you are somebody who is prone to gossiping, now is the time to stop. If you are somebody who is prone to spreading information, अरे so and so person got COVID, अच्छा उनका तो बच्चे को भी हुआ था, daughter-in-law pregnant है, all of that.
Exactly.
Guys, stop all that bullshit now. Find something that makes you happy. Reconnect with the people that you love. Do the thing. Call up every day one person whom you have not spoken to and reconnect with friends, because if you don't change who you are internally, all this
All
advice
this is
about
no use.
immunity is
No use.
nonsense.
Yes.
We can completely throw it out of the window. Okay,
Absolutely.
so make sure you work on your mind. And what I always give as an advice to anybody who's looking at immunity is juice life. I know it sounds so ridiculous, but you don't know now. Neither did any of the people who have lost their lives and their loved ones. None of them knew when life was going to go.
Correct.
You are getting a gift of life. Juice every damn second. Have fun. If you wanted to learn the piano but you didn't because you thought, "Arey, meri mother-in-law kya sochegi?" Now is the
Is
time.
the
If you
time.
wanted to have,
Absolutely.
if you wanted to learn how to cook from your mother, now is your time. So have fun and don't do things out of fear. Please don't gossip mong. Please don't spread bullshit information. Do not use WhatsApp as your source of information. Weberwe's collected some great information on COVID, and please go through the videos, and we are very happy to help you in any other way. I'm happy to help you to let you know whether some information is scientifically correct or whether it's just crap which is being passed on WhatsApp. So thank you so much for listening to me so patiently.
I can't believe you've done this, Rash.
Are you mad? I'm so happy to do it.
You're so amazing, and you explained it so well. I knew it was only you. I told Himali today in the morning, I said, I'm doing a session with Rashi because I know she'll be able to explain it to people like us. I don't want someone throwing, yeah, I agree. She really rocks, mom. I agree.
My husband is saying best Tendli ever because of your cooking.
I know, my Tendli is very good. But this is amazing information. I would love to for you to come back again next week to talk a little bit more about the spiritual aspect of it. I would love to talk about spiritual immunity because I think it's so important. It's she's amazing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share her Instagram handle as well. And Rashi, I'm going to share the link of this with you so you can post it as well.
Happy to do it, guys. Guys, I can't thank Weberwe enough for the work that she does. Whenever she sees anyone who has suffered from COVID, she actually talks to them. I've seen Weberwe helping them out with food, with whatever they require. Weberwe, you're all heart. And I've known you since we were like 5 years old. But the woman that you're turning into, 3 years old. But the woman that you're turning into makes me prouder and prouder. I'm so happy Suchita auntie gave birth to you.
Groups like you, right? I have soul groups like you, so there's no other choice. We have to evolve. We have to change.
And we are here for you guys. Anything that you all want, we are very happy to help you all with. So don't hesitate.
This will be saved in the COVID session. I'm going to tag Rashi. Rashi's going to put up her kada recipe. I'm going to reshare it. And she's going to put up the point chart as well. My mom is very proud.
Happy to help you all. Guys, love you all. And before this gets cut, we will sign off. Weberwe, we should save this.
Yes. I'm saving it right now. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks, Raj. And next week we'll do a spiritual immunity session.
I don't know whether I'm the right person for it, but I'm happy to help in any way.
For it. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye, Raj.
See you all. Bye.
Hey guys, thank you for logging into Live with Vi. Subscribe to see more videos.